Well, here we are. Here we are. Welcome. All good parties last for 4 days, right, guys? That's what I'm guessing. The Un-Gala kicked off yesterday, and it will continue through a Saturday night. And I'm so excited to be here with you today. I am Dionne Miller. I'll introduce myself to our friends at Ronald McDonald House and anyone tuning in right now. Dionne Miller from ABC7, pleased to also be joined by Olympic gold medalist Kendall Coyne and her Super Bowl champion husband, Michael Schofield, who have quickly become my favorite Chicago sports couple. Very quickly. Adore you guys, and I'm so glad that you've joined us today. How are you holding up during this crazy time? We've had a full month of shelter in place, if not a little bit more, and we're kind of midway through that. How are things going in your household right now?
Well, thank you so much for having us, Dionne, and thanks for doing this. We're excited to be here, excited to change up our daily routine, support the Ronald McDonald House. But it's definitely been challenging, but we're definitely making the most of every opportunity that we have within our house. Every morning we wake up, we go to the basement, we hit the Aerodyne bike, we have a set of dumbbells, and when the weather is nice outside, we've been running sprints right outside on our driveway and in the neighborhood. So I think some of our neighbors think we're crazy, or they might think you're crazy. I
know. Well, it's funny because, like she's saying, we work out in our basement, but we have a kind of a lower ceiling. So if I'm doing anything standing or anything, I have to go outside.
Of course.
I can do it. So it's been a challenge with that. I mean, we're all facing challenges and everything, and I guess that's one of my challenges is a low ceiling.
Like anything, like most athletes, I think one thing that we're really used to doing is adjusting and adapting to our environment. And I've realized that's one thing I really miss the most are the environments that I'm used to being in as an athlete and the people that I encounter in those environments. And so that's been challenging, but being able to adjust and adapt. And we know that our job right now is to stay inside and that, everyone is going through this together and we're all on the same team and no one's on the ice right now. No one's on the field. Everyone is doing their part to help stop the spread of this. And especially too, it's so important to acknowledge that there are people who can't stay inside and that are allowing us to stay inside. And we're so blessed and so thankful for all of those frontline workers and essential workers who are keeping our world moving while the rest of us are staying home, not moving, or moving within the confines of a roof.
Yeah, exactly.
No doubt about that. Have you guys ever worked out together this much?
This is definitely the longest time we've been together consistently.
Yeah.
It's like she goes for a trip, I go for a trip. But most off seasons, after my NFL season ends, and then when she's kind of in her in season, we work out together. But this is definitely the longest stretch together because usually I'm in OTAs or something right now.
Right, going back and forth.
Yeah, so it's been nice. We spend a lot of time together. We love working out together. We push each other. It's kind of funny because she's really strong. So it's like we'll do like some kind of weight, and I'll go pick up a dumbbell, and I'm seeing her picking up about the same way. I'm like, okay, I should probably go a little bit heavier then. So
no, we know she's strong. She can squat you. I'm not going to ask you height and weight right now unless you want to reveal it.
I'm over 300 pounds. So and she's nowhere near that. So
no, like a third, not even a third. I mean, that's crazy. That is crazy.
Yeah, we can reveal our quarantine weights. I'm 125.
I'm about 305, 308.
Well, here's the video. Here's the video evidence because, I mean, do you usually squat more than her weight, Michael?
Yes.
Yeah. I would think so.
She's heavier than the dumbbells we have. So it's just we're trying to make work whatever we do. And then I go, and I mean, obviously I'm doing it fine. And then Kendall's like, all right, my turn. I'm like, wait, are you serious?
I want to play too. Like, that was he really was using me as a weight, but then I was like, all right, well, my
Let's
turn.
See what I could do. Yeah.
This is like legitimately one of my favorite things that I've ever seen in my life. I mean, you're not even touching the floor, Michael. Like she really did it. Like
No, she did. I know. I had to make sure I put my toes up just to make sure I didn't touch the floor because again, I'm a lot taller than her. But I mean, she
amazing
squat. Yeah, that's very impressive.
That was a challenging with his torso length because it was kind of coming over me, and I'm trying to keep my chest up and have a good squat technique, but there was just so much body to like. But it was fun. We're keeping it light, and we're challenging each other every day.
We're coming up with new things every day for sure.
No doubt. Was that a PR for you, Kendall? Have you squatted that much weight before?
I've trap bar deadlifted,
but it's definitely different because compared to a bar, compared to like me being on the back, like me is much more impressive than if you just went on there and just did a 300-pound squat with a barbell. Like to have to be like actually hanging on, and like that's
my barbells don't move or breathe. So yes.
Exactly.
Not nearly as awkward to stand with the barbells, for sure. What about nutrition? How are you guys staying on top of your nutrition during this time when we're not encouraged to go to the grocery store a lot? We're all staying home and kind of finding our ways that way.
Yeah, we really do enjoy cooking. And so we've actually had more time to try new things. And we've been trying to go to the grocery store once every 10 days, which is really tough, especially with fresh produce, fresh fruit. Yeah. And so we're trying to do our best to not, be in the grocery store, but we know our nutrition is so important. It's a piece of being a pro athlete and being an elite athlete. And you have to eat well, you have to sleep well, you have to train well, and those all go hand in hand. And if you take one out, you're cutting yourself short, you're cutting your team short. So we know that we have to continue to remain, focused on our nutrition. Every time we wake up, every meal we have, and there's been a lot of times though we've also focused on trying to order takeout in our community here in Orland Park and Palos Heights, and trying to support those local businesses. And there's so many great options within those businesses that we've enjoyed as well. So whether it's been breakfast one morning, dinner one night, we've definitely been ordering out and takeout more than we have before. And we're trying to find healthier meals within those options.
Definitely.
How are you guys feeding your sports fix? We're all trying to watch something to give us that feeling that we have when we watch you guys do your thing, and that's not happening right now. So how are you filling your sports fix?
Oh yeah, I mean, I've been loving all the replays of the old sporting events. I think last night there was a football game on that it was so intense.
Notre Dame
USC. It was the Bush push back when Leinart scored. Like I just watched that, and it had been replays of the Olympics and all those, and just watching like the gymnastics all around, or Michael Phelps winning all his however many golds he has, 20 golds, and then Usain Bolt's run. So it's been fun to watch all those like old sporting events again, because it's like you forget every single moment like of those like Michael Phelps in Beijing when he won the 8 gold medals. So it's like you relive it, get caught up in the emotions again. And obviously it was funny it was a couple weeks ago now, her 2018 gold medal game was on NBC or on NBCSN, and they replayed it, and it was so funny because she wanted to bike during it, so she's biking during it, and while like the game's getting more and more intense, you can tell she's picking up the pace, and I think she ended up biking 30 or something miles during the 2-hour game. So
wow,
it was her first time watching the whole game live, right? So it's been so much fun to relive all those moments.
Let's see. Do you have the gold medal with you that we can? I mean, like the best picture ever of you two. But there's the gold medal. Wow.
There's the gold medal.
There it is.
Gorgeous. It's so pretty.
But you can see like on the back it says ice hockey women's tournament.
Love it.
And then on the side it says 23rd Winter Games. And I think for all of us in Chicago, I was pumped that it was the 23rd. I knew 23 is a good number for Chicagoans, and I was like, we're going to bring home the gold. I knew it.
That is awesome. That was the first time you had watched it though? Had you just never like had the time to do it, or did you just?
Yeah, I never had the time, and it really hasn't been replayed in its entirety since that moment. And so watching it back, I was so stressed out because I'm like, what are you doing, Kendall? You're supposed to be there. You're supposed to be doing that. I think it was a great learning moment too for me, knowing like you live for this game and you're not going to have a perfect game. You want to have a perfect game because you've played this game in your head on your driveway since you were 5 years old, but you know what? You can't. And it was just such an incredible moment. And flashback to 2 years before we won the gold medal, I was sitting in the stands watching Michael accomplish his childhood dream. Yeah. And so to have that feeling and to live vicariously through him and know and kind of know what that felt like and to see what it felt like, I'm like, gosh, awesome. I want that. And it really motivated me to, and our team to really bring home the gold. And
oh yeah, here, I got my Super Bowl ring too.
Let's see. Have you rewatched that Super Bowl game, Michael?
I have. It's been on, so I could say a little more too.
It's been on quite a few times, actually.
Yeah.
It's been on more than her game, so it's pretty cool. But again,
amazing.
They make these rings so big, you never wear them,
You never do. I was going to ask that. You never wear it?
Like, am I going to go to McDonald's? Like, yeah, can I order one of those, please?
Do it. Now is the time.
Yeah, right? Yeah, I have one, so why not? But yeah, but my game has been on a lot more. So I've watched it actually a couple of times, but like it was so cool to watch her game. Like she said, like it's so cool that we've both been a part of like a championship team. And like I knew like going to her gold medal, like like I wanted her to win because I knew that feeling of just like winning your ultimate dream, like the ultimate goal is winning it all. And so like I knew I wanted that so bad for her. So it was like so cool when she won. Like I knew exactly what she was feeling and just all the rush of excitement. So made the moment so awesome.
Oh, I mean, it's amazing. The picture's amazing. We missed a question in there, and I want to know. Julie asked where you keep the gold medal. Like how soon when we walk in your home do we know that you've won a gold medal?
Well, Julie, I actually get that question quite a bit. I don't keep it anywhere safe. I just keep it next to my bedside. But I think it's so important to continuously take out my medal. There's some, Olympic athletes that prefer to keep it in the box, make sure it doesn't get scratched. However, I have the opposite mindset where I think every kid, every person that wants to see it, wants to feel it, should. It's been dropped. It's been held. It's been someone bit it once, which I thought was it's been through its fair share of love, and I think it's so important because I was 7 years old when I held Cami Granado's medal, who was from Downers Grove, and that's when I turned to my parents. I said, I want to go to the Olympics. I want to be a gold medalist.
Wow.
And the way to feel it and to really look at her and say, you know what, I can be that one day. I value the importance of that moment, and I know if I can have that value to somebody else, and whether it's seeing the medal, holding the medal, and it doesn't have to be in sports, but it inspires them to chase their dreams. It's important to get it out and to showcase it. So you can see, I mean, it's pretty dirty. There's some scratches in it, but you know what? That's what it's meant for. It's meant to, for me, it's meant to be out and be shown.
Definitely.
What about the ring? Is it displayed somewhere, or is it?
I'm the same way. I keep it up by my bedside, so I feel the same way. Like it does no good locking it up in a safe box or anything. Like when I go like these visits like this, like these pictures are showing, I always bring the ring with, or if I go talk to kids, I always bring the ring with because I want people to see it. Again, it's funny. I've dropped it. A couple diamonds have actually fallen off too, but luckily they get replaced if they fall out. So it's just I just feel like it does no good being locked away. So I just want to show it many people as I could.
It's so obvious that you guys share the same heart and passion for what you do on the ice and on the field, but also like in the community. And I know that as much as things have shut down, your foundation has not. You guys have continued to stay super active during this time. What have you been doing, your help with Ronald McDonald House, and kind of how you got involved with it in the first place?
Yeah, these are so many great photos and great memories with a lot of the kids at the Ronald McDonald House over the years. Our love and passion for the Ronald McDonald House started in 2014, and the USOPC and the U.S. Olympic and Paralympic Committee, they do an Olympic Day every summer, and every summer an Olympic athlete has the opportunity to host one for kids and inspire them through sport. And so my mindset was, well, there's a bunch of kids who don't have the opportunity to be outside and to be a part of an Olympic Day. So, I said, well, why don't we bring the Olympic Day to them? And so we went into the Ronald McDonald House, we baked Olympic ring cookies, and we brought our medals, our rings. You saw the replica Lombardi trophy, and it was just an incredible experience. And I think when you walk into the Ronald McDonald House once, you walk out immediately wanting to go back. And that was our first experience. And we've continued to go back since 2014. And so our foundation, there's 5 focus areas. That's military, first responders, families in need, youth sports organization, and education. And so there's no greater organization than the Ronald McDonald House that keeps families close, as that's their mantra, and families in need as one of our focus areas. We felt so confident in providing support to the Ronald McDonald House throughout these years. And, we were able, this is an extremely trying time right now for all. And knowing the Ronald McDonald House relies on their volunteers to provide dinner every night at the houses, we immediately said, okay, how can we help, knowing that there's no one providing meals right now? So we went to our local businesses and we catered 10 meals into the Advocate House, as both Michael and I were born at Christ Hospital in Oakland. So it's a place that's close to our heart as well. And on top of that, we donated a room this past summer right there. That's actually room 104.
I love it.
The Advocate House. So that's a really special photo. To see that the room was being occupied. And it's really cool that both of our jerseys are there. His Denver Broncos jersey.
Yeah, from the Super Bowl year.
And my Team USA jersey is in one of the rooms there. So we've heard from a few people who have stayed at the house that saw our jerseys and reached out. So it's, this is our community, this is our home, and this is where our heart is. So we're very honored to be able to support the Ronald McDonald House. And especially during this Un-Gala, I'm super excited to provide a silent auction item. I know Michael would love to be a part of it, but his skating skills are not there yet. But as last year, I donated it to the gala that would have been in person. So obviously we're doing it virtual, but it's the opportunity to have a practice with me. And last year I did it with the Midwest Blackbirds in Dyer, Indiana. And I had an awesome time with the kids. We got on the ice. You can see my medals. There they are. Yeah. I do wash them after. I will, especially now. Yeah. But awesome opportunity. It's item 401 on the silent auction list. And Dionne, I think you have a special item too, right?
I do. A tour at ABC7. Once we're able to bring people back into the studio, you have an opportunity to come in and watch us do the newscast. It's a pretty fun experience for me to share with people because we know that we're in everybody's living room every night, right? Yeah. We're with them at their dining room table and they feel like they know us all the time. So it's so fun for me to kind of pull back the curtain and let them come see how we put together a newscast, and I give them a tour of the station. And I would love to, kids are welcome. Like the more the merrier, really. It says up to 6 people, but I can accommodate more if I want to. So I would love to make that happen. And I too feel the same way about Ronald McDonald House Charities and just what it provides for the families who truly need it. And during this time, you know that they're busy. It doesn't stop just because of a pandemic. So that's why I'm so thrilled that we're able to do this Un-Gala. And I love seeing the numbers go up. I mean, they are hoping to raise $1 million through the weekend. So we're hoping that we can help make that happen.
Yeah. And especially with our foundation too, I think right now would have been such a busy time for us, whether he's starting OTAs and we're moving from, one place to another place. And I was supposed to be at the World Championships. And so when we were forced to stay at home, we said, well, we could, do so much more right now, together. And so we were able to provide 60,000 meals to the Greater Chicago Food Depository. Awesome. We were able to volunteer our time at the local Orland Park Food Pantry and as well at the Greater Chicago Food Depository. You can't be exposed to COVID-19 and you have to be able to lift a certain amount of weight. And so we're like, well, this is a great workout. And I must admit,
it's better than the basement workout.
Yes, we're actually getting a lot more done, a lot more important things done by helping, prepare these meals. And, we're honored to help out. And we're super excited. Actually, this past Monday, our foundation gave away its 2nd annual Schofield Family Foundation scholarship to a Carl Sandburg student athlete. We both are Carl Sandburg alums in Orland Park. And it was Jamie Gross, and she's going to go on to continue her softball career at Brown University as a student athlete. So it was a great moment to show that, there still are really great moments during this difficult time. And we were able to FaceTime with her. And we said, awesome. We look forward to seeing you in person.
It's amazing. I just love all that you guys are continuing to commit to doing through your foundation. Maybe everybody knows the story, but you guys, you were born at the same hospital, but you didn't meet until after college and all that. Like, how did this become? How did you guys get together?
Well, it's actually funny because, like you said, she's from Palos Heights, I'm from Orland Park. We ended up actually both going to Carl Sandburg High School. I graduated in 2009. You graduated in 2010. So she's actually my brother's age, my younger brother.
Oh, no way.
We had a couple classes together. So then I went on to my University of Michigan career. She went on to Northeastern in Boston. And then after my Michigan career, I was actually working out at a gym around here. And then she just finished her 2014 Olympics in Sochi.
Yep.
And she just got a wrist surgery. So usually she works out.
Shout out to Dr. Wiedrich, greatest doctor. And he's amazing. Yeah. He's out of Northwestern, but he fixed my wrist up. And so I was casted up to here for
wow.
Yeah.
So her strength coach made her work out at a gym. And luckily it was a gym. He picked my gym where I was working out. And my first image of Kendall, I could remember she has a cast again up to here, and she has a dumbbell in the other arm snatching. And doing all this stuff. I'm like, wow, this woman's awesome. So then I remember, I'm like, I'm trying to figure out who she is, and then I see her run, and I'm like, okay, she's definitely a hockey player. Because if you've ever seen a hockey player sprint. So then we started figuring out who we were. We both knew of each other because we both went to Sandburg.
Yeah.
So actually, we just started talking, and then we ended up going on a date to this Pop's restaurant, Pop's Italian Beef around here, and then ever since then we just started talking.
Oh, I love it. So did you know who he was right away, Kendall, or did it take you a while to make the connection?
So coincidentally, our 2014 Olympic team was announced at the Big House.
In Michigan.
Oh, no way.
And so I remember being there and, 110,000 people. It was during the Winter Classic. So it was January 1st, 2014.
Yeah.
And we have a player on our team who's from Ohio and a huge Buckeye fan and a huge football fan, Dionne, like yourself.
Yes.
And she's a huge football fan. We were going back and forth just talking about football. And this was before I had a choice to have an allegiance, I guess. I don't know. College football was incredible. And we were looking through the rosters, and I was like, I swear there's a kid from my high school that went to Michigan, because you remember, those athletes that go on and, have a similar path and driven career like you do in sport. And so we looked him up, and, he did. And so then when fast forward a few months later, I'm like, oh, it's gotta be him, Michigan, and that's kind of a big guy.
Yeah, that's the other thing. There's not many people my size around Orland Park.
I would imagine, yeah. I absolutely love that. Oh, so Holly's asking, Kendall, what club did you play for growing up?
So I grew up playing girls hockey with the Chicago Mission, but I played for a lot of clubs, and I played a lot of boys hockey as well, because there really weren't many options to play girls hockey when I was really young. So I did a combination of both, but the longest club I played for was the Chicago Mission.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Do you guys worry about let's ask this question from Katie. Any sports that you two have a friendly competition with?
Well,
that's a good one.
So usually when we go skating or go and do hockey drills, I have to come on the ice and try to make passes and stuff. But then we also always have to try to have a lot of fun playing like these hockey games. That's 3-bar. So this is the one we always like to play. So the goal is you stand, I don't know, probably 15, 20 feet away from the net, and you got to hit all 3 posts. So it's whoever can hit the first. I've only beat her once in it, but that's my claim to fame in hockey, that I have beaten Kendall in 3-bar.
Yeah, that's pretty.
I'm not shooting at the post. I'm trying to score goals. You're not trying to hit the net. So that's why I lost.
This is not something you want to be good at. What about board games? Like, are you guys competitive in that sort of thing too? Like everything?
We play Bananagram.
Okay.
So because that's an easy two-person game, so we'll play that a lot. And, again, we're always like, I'm checking hers. Like, I don't know if that's a word. We got to look that up. Like when it's all over and stuff. So.
But yeah, we are pretty competitive with each other. But at the end of the day, we're each other's biggest fans. Exactly. And when one wins, we're mad for a half a second, and then we support them and we love them. And
But yeah, if she beats me and she beats me bad, I might have to take a couple minutes to cool off before we could talk again.
We get into heated conversations of who was a better athlete as a kid.
Oh, I know.
Oh yeah, and
consistently.
Obviously she thinks she is, and I think I am. So I don't know if we can ever come up with a true winner.
Did you play other sports? Did you guys play other sports growing up?
Yes, Dionne, I'm so glad you asked this question. And for all of our listeners, yes, it's so important for kids to play multiple sports if they have the opportunity to. I know it's so hard for families to play multiple sports. It was hard for mine, but I was playing softball, baseball, hockey, track and field, basketball, and every yard game known to mankind, I was playing it.
Yeah. I grew up playing football, baseball, basketball, and I ran track. So, I mean, I did the same thing. Every season, I was the same as Kendall. Every single whatever sports teams were going on, I was in.
Do you guys have any advice for people who are home and just trying to get motivated to stay in shape? Obviously, elite athletes, this is like your job. But for the rest of us who are just kind of like navigating day to day, any advice, any tips to kind of get people going?
I think having a routine, set it, I don't want to say set an agenda and have an itinerary like you would if you were going to travel somewhere, but have a routine. So we wake up every day and we eat, and we go right into the basement to get the workout done. And there's nothing else that we're doing. And then afterwards we're making a healthy meal, and we're trying to stay active, trying to walk around the block quite a few times. And I think it's like anything, it's continuously setting goals for yourself and meeting those goals, whether they're something as small as putting on your jeans today, because I'm sure no one's put on jeans in a long time. Or,
so true.
I'm going to focus on making a healthier meal today than I did yesterday. And, there's so many ways to stay active inside your home, whether it's doing a workout that you find on the internet, the TV, or just doing body weight, squats, push-ups, sit-ups. And there's definitely ways to stay active. And, I'm stick handling in the driveway, passing some with him. So.
That's good. You see the question there. Okay, well, we've got 2 coming up. Someone asked what you ran in track, Michael.
Ooh, yeah, so I only ran up to sophomore year of high school, because then from sophomore year to junior year, I gained about 40 pounds. So then I'm like, I think I'm too big now to run. But freshman and sophomore year, I did the 110 high hurdles, the 300 hurdles, and the 400.
Wow, hurdles.
Almost went to state as a sophomore too in the 110s, but I was like 0.03 away from gold. But then, then again, I said I got too big and I started getting shin splints really bad. So then I tried throwing, and that didn't work out very well.
That didn't work either.
No.
That's hard to do. I've tried that before too. That's really, really challenging.
I was already a junior when I tried throwing, so I was already too late, and all the guys had the technique down, and I just didn't have it. So
yeah, I know that you guys have each other to kind of keep motivated. But do you keep in touch with teammates, friends who are also athletes going through the same kind of thing? And how are you keeping those touch points there for you during this uncertainty?
Yes, I'm definitely keeping in touch with my teammates. It's more challenging for Michael because he's a free agent, so he doesn't really have a teammate but me right now.
Yeah, exactly.
But for me, we actually do a workout every Wednesday, which is so awesome because it breaks up the week, and our strength coach provides the lifts, so we have some structure. And she's coaching us. She's looking at the screen. She's like, "Get your butt down!"
Yeah.
You know, and it's the coaching we need, and you don't have to think. You just do what we're used to doing, and you see your teammates going through it as well. So you really want to push. And I've been sweating a lot more in those workouts. So I'm like, okay, I need to raise the bar for the days that I'm not with my teammates. And so we've been doing that, and we have team group chats, and everyone's talking about what they're doing or what they're not doing, and a lot of dog love, I would say, from the U.S. Women's National Hockey Team.
That is awesome. That is awesome. Michael, has this time been more interesting for you because of the free agency thing and just how you're kind of navigating that, knowing that your time is coming? It's just not here right now.
Yeah, it's tough, and like I guess what everyone's going through challenges right now. The NFL free agency is just totally crazy right now. I mean, there was initially that wave, obviously, right when everything started, people signing left and right, and then now, like, kind of like, I don't want to say like not. I mean, there's still big names out there like Jadeveon Clowney, like big name guys, but like of the guys, we're just waiting because hopefully there is an NFL season, which I fully expect there to be. But in what capacity? Is there going to be no fans allowed? Is it going to be delayed start? There's so many unknowns that owners and everything are kind of just focused on everything else going on. Obviously, they just had the draft, so I'm expecting something to happen hopefully soon with free agency. But again, kind of like she said too, the other thing that calms me down is there are no OTAs. I'm not really missing anything right now.
Right.
That kind of makes
we're
me feel
all on
better.
the same team.
Yeah, we're all on the same boat right now.
Yeah. Okay, Debbie is asking, what's your favorite stadium to see games in Chicago?
United Center.
Yeah. I grew up a really big Bears fan, but there's nothing like the United Center, especially like when the Blackhawks are in a playoff Blackhawk game with the national anthem singing and everything, and just that atmosphere is probably the best atmospheres in all sports.
We are so incredibly lucky in our city to not only have that, but I'm a baseball junkie, and like I either park in town to me is like the greatest place to be. Since I'm not from here, I'm allowed to say I'm a fan of both. It's better for my world if they're both winning. Okay, so that's my dream, is like a red line series for the World Series, right? Like the Sox and the Cubs, but that would be ideal. If they do this whole weird alignment to get baseball on the field, it will be interesting to see them in the same division. But I just love baseball. So I love minor league ball. I love baseball in all capacities, but totally agree with you. Like the United Center, I mean, chills every single time. Like it does it. They start the anthem and I get chills every time. It's incredible. It's just such an incredible place to be. Do you guys think about this I was going to ask this question, having no fans in the stands, how would that impact not only the game day experience, which is a fantastic question, but just how would it impact how you play? Would it impact how you play?
It'll be definitely 100% different, obviously. Like, there's nothing better than running out into a stadium and getting however many thousands of fans cheering, and when you score a touchdown, everyone cheering. So obviously that's just going to be the biggest thing. But at the end of the day, it's our job. It doesn't matter if we're playing in a backyard or in front of 100,000 people. That would be my job on the field to play. So obviously I don't think it'll affect my play. I would hope not. Obviously I'm going to get like the adrenaline rush running out of the field, but you're going to have to find another way to, I guess, wake yourself up. But I hope we can play in front of fans, but we just don't know right now.
I think no matter what, whether it's fans or the way we do things, when this it settles down and we're able to return to what we know is normal, is still going to be different. And I think we're all going to be a lot more cautious of what we're doing and what we're touching, and just, it will change our daily life, I think, no matter what after this. But, hopefully we get to resume to normal at some point.
Sooner rather than later,
Should they pipe in crowd noise like they do at practice?
That would be very interesting if they did.
It's like the weirdest.
They're pumping in crowd noise and we're looking around like, oh, there's no one in there.
I know. We've been watching. My husband and I have been watching highlights of baseball in South Korea and Taiwan, and interesting just with like robotic fans and mannequins in the stands, and how they're just trying to simulate something to get their sport going. I'm wondering. It's just interesting to speculate how it would look once we get going.
I can't even imagine, like, just like you're saying, like walking out of the tunnel and going to be no fans. Like,
I know. Especially, I mean, the big house. I mean, you're used to playing in front of hundreds of people. Right.
Now you're talking about literally zero. Like,
right.
It'd be weird.
Little eerie. Do you worry about what the game will look like, knowing that I know everybody's in the same boat and they're trying to stay on top of their game, but everybody's aging, everybody's, you guys are all going to be 1 year further into your careers without having had that game time. Like, do you think about that, or do you not allow yourself to go into the unknowns because it's just so uncertain?
Definitely, I don't think about it too much. But again, the only thing that I would go back to that makes it feel better is we're all in the same boat.
Everybody's doing it, yeah.
Assuming the worst, right? There's no games next year. Like, hopefully, I'm not saying that's going to happen. I really don't think that's going to happen. But if that were to happen, then no one's going to play the games next year. So no one's getting better in terms of playing against other people. But I guess that's what just makes you feel better. We're all in the same boat in this.
I do think there's going to be an adjustment period for all athletes when we return to the field, and there has to be some type of training camp or prep time for athletes to get back into shape, because it's nearly impossible. I don't care what sport it is, it's nearly impossible to mimic game shape, to mimic the adrenaline and the stress and pressure you feel playing in a game. You can bike as hard as you want. You can bike 30 miles like I did during my game, but I step on that ice, I'm not going to feel the same. So there's going to be needing, like, athletes are going to be needing some time to get back into game shape.
Definitely.
Yeah, no question about that. I know, Kendall, you've told me more than once. It's been a long time. You've never not been on the ice this long, right? I mean, how bizarre is that? I
haven't been on the ice since March 7th. And I think this is probably the longest I've definitely not been in an ice rink, and probably not been on the ice since I started skating when I was 3 years old. And like I said, I was playing other sports, but with 3 siblings, whether you jump out with your brother, my other brother, or my sister, I was always in an ice rink as a kid. So this is definitely what I was saying before. I miss my environments, and I miss seeing all the people I see at the rink on a regular basis, especially here at the Arctic Ice Arena in Orland Park, where I go all the time. But yeah, so I can definitely feel my skating muscles withering away, let's put it that way. I definitely have to build those back up when I start getting back on the ice, because obviously we definitely cannot replicate anything ice related.
Totally. We see a question here from Karen asking what your typical daily diet is, or any nutrition advice.
I think we don't really follow like a super strict diet where like we're counting calories and really paying attention. I mean, I guess what we try to focus on is trying to eat like, the healthy 12, nasty 12, what's the
the dirty dozen.
The dirty dozen.
Oh yeah.
Like, there's certain meals you should be getting organic, and there's certain that you don't have to. So we try to focus on when we should be eating organic and when we shouldn't be. But really, we cook at home as much as we possibly could, and I think that's one thing that really helps with our diet.
And I think especially too right now, it's easy to have food accessible because you're not out and about, and so it's making sure you're timing your meals and you're eating 3 big meals a day, but then also having small meals in between so that you're not hungry, because when you get to the point of being hungry, that's when you start to grab those unhealthy snacks. So we're constantly focusing on our our nutrient timing throughout the day of making sure we're eating solid meals, and then in addition whole meals, making sure that we have a protein, a carb, green. And so I would say we eat clean.
Yes.
We're conscious of eating clean, but trust me, we're not afraid to grab a Chicago pizza.
That was going to be my question. Like, so what do you enjoy splurging on? Like, when you order takeout, is it easy? Can you both agree on something at any restaurant, or is it like?
It's usually pizza when we get takeout.
Not get pizza?
Exactly.
When we travel, like, that's the worst part is you can never get pizza anywhere else after you lived here. So being here, we get pizza and
or we go to Pops and get Italian beef. So there's definitely, it's like the classic Chicago stuff. So
yeah. That's awesome. Are you dessert people? Do you guys like to splurge on that sort of thing?
Kendall is a big dessert person. Kendall loves her ice cream. We actually got engaged at an ice cream shop called ice cream.
No way.
The Plush Horse.
Well, it's the Plush Horse ice cream, but yeah.
In Palos Park.
In Palos Park. So that's
you did. Oh my gosh. What's your favorite flavor?
So cool story. After the 2018 Olympics, they named an ice cream after me called the Golden Coyne. And so it's a base ice cream with golden Oreos and cookie dough.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
yum.
Cookies and cream is my go-to.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is amazing. Can you talk about your Olympic experience overseas and like what that was like, what it's like to be in the Olympic Village, to be in the foreign countries like that, and what it's just so different than stateside sports that we're used to.
Yeah, that's a great question. It's an incredible experience, and you feel so empowered with the fact that you're representing your country. You're one of a couple thousand athletes of the delegation who are representing the United States, and you want to come home with a gold medal. But what I love is the camaraderie within the Olympic Village and meeting some of the athletes for the first time or seeing them again, even if it was, whether it was 4 years ago or you saw them in between at a Worlds event, but supporting them and going to their events and just cheering so loudly for them and knowing how hard they worked to accomplish their dream, because you're, doing the same thing alongside them. And then you get back in the village after they won and you're like, yeah, and like cheering for them. And if you can't go to the event, we're all like, huddled up around a TV watching. And, for us, like, I absolutely love watching figure skating. And if you don't do it, you really don't understand the intricacies of the sport. And so I'm like, what do you mean? That looked perfect. It's so human. And, we don't have commentating when we're at the Olympics if we're watching in the village. So we just expect all of, everything to be great with our U.S. athletes. So it's so fun to support and cheer on the other athletes. And definitely besides your own event, the best part are opening and closing ceremonies, something like that. That's for sure.
Yeah, I bet you can feel for those who had their Summer Olympics postponed, and just how devastating that is for especially the athletes who have worked for 4 years to just be ready for that moment.
Yes, my heart goes out to them, my strength goes out to them, and my encouragement, because it is a long 4 years, and sometimes you work your whole life for those 3 weeks, and there's no guarantees that you'll be able to compete come next year, 2021. So I hope all of those athletes that, we're about to accomplish their dream are able to next year. And I hope they're able to get support and funding to prolong their training, because it's a tough world for Olympic athletes. The funding is not always there, especially during these difficult times. So I'm feeling for them. I hope to see them all, compete next year. As they were expected to this year.
We have a question here about obviously a lot of kids missed out on their major sporting event moments for especially their senior year. I mean, it's just heartbreaking that they didn't get to finish things up. I mean, you guys just had a scholar athlete you honored who didn't get to finish her softball career at high school. What can you say to encourage them, or how they're handling that sort of disappointment?
Well, first we have to give a shout out to Dave. He's donated money to the Ronald McDonald House. We crossed paths in California, actually, when Michael was with the Los Angeles Chargers, and he supported the house. But that's a great question. It's not an easy one. I don't think there's an easy answer, but I've spoken to some teams and some kids that have missed out on their prom and their senior season and some big moments. And I missed out on a world championship. It would have been my 8th. We're all missing out on something, and I think we're all doing our job. We're all, supposed to be inside and understand that there's so many people going through similar situations. And so the one piece of advice that I've given to a lot of kids is, make the most out of every day. Be the best version of yourself. There's so much that you can do right now. I know you might not want to do it, whether it's you're an athlete and you watch film and you learn, from what you weren't able to accomplish, and reflect on, the past season, which we've been doing here, and being able to get work, around the house, whether you're throwing a baseball or whatever it is, but you can still find a way to to be great every day. And whether it's you're being great at making the best omelet in the morning, or, having the best workout, just find a way, to be the best in whatever you do and focus on those details, because right now there's such an opportunity to focus on details that you really don't have time to when life is what we know it. And I know I've been reading a lot of books. I love autobiographies of athletes and learning from their stories. And so I've been trying to read a lot of books, to pass the time as well. But we're thinking of you, all of you, whether athlete or not, but I know everyone is going through a difficult time right now.
It is. It's super challenging, and we want to encourage all of them. And I know you've said before, you want to have a purpose to your day, especially right now. And of course, we're here because of Ronald McDonald House Charities and this Un-Gala. Is there anything more you want to share to encourage people to just continue to give to this incredible cause that's so vital to our community?
Well, the gala is an incredible event, and so just kudos to the Ronald McDonald House for finding a way to make it an Un-Gala and to continue to strive for the goal. We talk about setting goals, and this goal is to raise $1 million. And I would encourage everybody that can to support. There's some incredible auction items, one from Dionne, one from myself, and so many other ones that can really help support the Ronald McDonald House, because the Ronald McDonald House does so many amazing things for so many families and keeps them close. And while we all are feeling in need right now, there's families that feel like this all the time. And the Ronald McDonald House is able to alleviate some of those feelings on a regular basis. So if you can, donate and make this Un-Gala, one of a kind, but
exactly.
And support and donate. I know it's appreciated and it goes to incredible use.
Exactly. We're all on the same team right now. We got to help each other out if you can.
Yeah, I always like to tell people bid early, bid high, and bid often. And we have 4 days to ramp up to this. This is only day 2, so there's be plenty more to come, kind of get us gearing up for Saturday, which would have been the gala itself. What is next for your foundation? What more are you guys on during this time together?
Well, like everybody, we're following the guidelines, and we're seeing what tomorrow brings. We are scheduled to have a golf outing on July 2nd. And then in addition, I'm hosting my 5th annual all-girls hockey camp July 11th through 12th, and all the proceeds from that camp go to the foundation. So those are 2 big events for our foundation. But again, we don't know if they're going to happen. We're in the same boat as everybody else. But if we have to postpone them, cancel them, move them forward, we'll do whatever we're supposed to do. But those are the next 2 big.
We're just following like she's saying, we're just following the guidelines, and whatever is allowed, we'll try to make work. If not, we'll just postpone it and go from there, kind of thing.
And we're continuing to listen to the community too, and see where the need is. And I think that's what you need to do as a foundation, right? Because we didn't anticipate this pandemic, and there's been so much need right now, and so we're trying to assist where we can.
Yeah, well, you guys are incredible. I'm not sure if we have any other questions out there for us today. Anybody? Do you see that? Florence Schelling's the new GM position?
Yeah, it's incredible. Florence was a teammate of mine at Northeastern and a competitor of mine. She's on Team Switzerland. Recently retired goaltender, phenomenal goaltender, one of the greatest goaltenders to ever play the game. And she was just hired as the general manager of SC Bern in Switzerland. First female to be named as a general manager of a major hockey team. And so I think, incredible, kudos to Florence, kudos to SC Bern. And, I think she's going to do an incredible job. And I don't think she's there to check a box. I think she's there to do a job and bring a championship to that team. And she's capable of doing that. She's qualified, and, she's an incredible competitor and athlete. So I expect her to bring that into her new role as a general manager.
This brings me back to the last time you were kind of on the ice, was calling that game on International Women in Sports Day. Yeah. What was that experience like? How have you kind of crossed over into the broadcasting side of your career, and just where do you see women's roles growing in the sport of hockey?
Yeah, the roles for women in sport are continuing to grow, and I think there are women in so many different categories within sport. It's just the opportunity to showcase and see them and hear their stories, because once you see it, you can be it. And I love being a part of that game, because it wasn't just the voices and faces people saw and heard. It were all the women in the truck. It was women who have been doing this job for years and years. They've attended 7, 8 Olympic games. I'm like, I'll just take my 2 and chew away. These are incredible women. And similar to the question that was asked about Florence, I can't wait till these aren't headlines, that these are just expectations, and these are just people doing their job, because they're qualified and they're good at it. And that was exactly what that night symbolized for me. And I think we're going to continue to see that. And I would encourage everyone, young girls and boys, if they're listening, that if you want to be in the sports industry, there's a place for you. You don't necessarily need to be the face. You don't need to be the voice. You don't need to be the player or the coach that you always see. There's definitely a place for you, and you have to be willing to work for it. And if you are, that place will find you.
What have been the challenges of crossing that into the broadcast side that you didn't expect maybe?
I don't think many people expect a woman to be an analyst in the sport of hockey. And I definitely have felt that I've broken a few barriers and I've opened a few eyes in the sense that, oh, you're an analyst. I know I've gotten a few times, oh, are you the intern running papers for the play and getting the stats for him? And like, no, I'm not. I'm an analyst. So it's opening these eyes, breaking these barriers. And for me, it's constantly putting the pressure on myself to be better. And I know I have a lot of room to grow, and I'm new into this industry, but it's something I've dreamt about for a long time. That's what I went to school for. And so I had an incredible year with the San Jose Sharks broadcast team, and I was surrounded by an amazing team. And like any team we've been on, you have to lean on your teammates and your veterans, and all of my teammates have been doing it for a long time. So I was probably getting annoying to them. Asking them so many questions of, okay, what do I do now? Or what how do I get better at this? And you just have to be a sponge for anything you do. So I've really, really enjoyed it. I look forward to getting better at it.
Yeah.
That is awesome. No, I totally agree with you. I thought that it was seamless. I thought that you've done a great job with it. You're very natural at it and more than qualified to be sitting in that chair and analyzing hockey. Trust me. Someone has Catherine has a question about how can organizations encourage more young people to get involved in giving back in the community?
Well, first off, thank you, Dionne. That means a lot coming from you. But great question, Catherine. I think continue to listen and to seek and reach out to whether it's your towns.
Exactly.
We saw a flyer that was in need for the food pantry to help pack stuff there, and so we called, and they were in need of volunteers. So I think it's continuing to seek help and to see where help is needed.
Spread the word too, and like she said, we saw this flyer and it was on Facebook. I mean, use your social platforms, whatever you could, to get out there, because that's where most kids, teenagers, adults are looking nowadays anyway. So just use your social platforms as much as you can.
That's awesome. Well, does anyone else have a question that's listening before we sign off for today? This was so much fun, you guys. I sincerely enjoy talking to you guys.
We do too, Dionne. We do too. We got to see her kids and see her dog.
Oh, yes. Boomer, my dog Boomer. Yes, it's been a wild scene with Boomer at the house. But I mean, now is the time to be training a dog. We're all home.
Yeah.
There's no reason why we can't do this.
Exactly.
But why can't we do it? It's still a challenge. It's been a month. One day at a time. We love him dearly. He's just a gem. But no, you guys are wonderful. This was so much fun, and I'm so excited to see what you're able to do with the foundation, but also in your careers on the other side of all of this unknown. It will end at some point. I know I love hearing you guys say we're all on the same team, but I'm like honored that I can call you guys teammates and friends. So thank you so much. And the best to everyone at Ronald McDonald House Charities. Thank you guys for supporting what we did today, but just for being out there and having this Un-Gala so that we can continue to support the incredible work that you're doing as well.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for having
All right, guys. Have a great day. Take care. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.